peeps, my name is Lore and welcome to my little corner on the internet. Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you're coming back, I'm so glad to see you here again. So for today's video, I decided to do a little experiment. I am aware that this may not be the most original idea. I do want to say I did think of it on my own. However, through my research and even before my research, I was aware that it was not going to be completely original. I was sure that some other people had already had the same idea, and I was right. Most of my research is based on basically the same experiment conducted by other people. So today I'm gonna be basing my reads for the month of January on recommendations for INFPs, which is a personality type based on the Myers-Briggs type indicator. But basically how the Myers-Briggs type indicator works is it divides people into 16 personalities. All of these 16 personalities are a combination of 4 categories, and in each category there's like 2 divisions, so you can be either this or that. So the first category is, are you outwardly or inwardly focused? So basically, are you an extrovert or are you an introvert? The second category is, how do you prefer to take information? It's either by sensing or by intuition. The third category, how do you prefer to make decisions? Are you a thinker or a feeler? And finally, the fourth category, how do you prefer to live your outer life? Either judging or perceiving. But yeah, my personality is INFP, also known as the mediator, which means I am an introvert. I base my learning on intuition. I am a feeler, and I am a perceiver. How I organized myself, it's basically I just did a bunch of research. I watched a ton of YouTube videos, and I even read some blogs about what would you recommend an INFP to read. I'm gonna link all of the videos I mention in the eye icon. So if you're interested in any of them, you can go check them out. I ended up making a little chart just to organize myself a little bit better. It's just like a 2-column chart that says the book that was recommended to me and who recommended it to me, so I can give credit where credit is due and I didn't lose track of who recommended what. So quickly right now I'm gonna go through the list of what was recommended to me.
The first book is Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Montgomery. This was recommended by Cristy and Jones. Next it was The Hunger Games series by Susan Collins, recommended by P.Harvey. Next it was The Strange the Dreamer series by Lani Taylor, recommended by Erik Thor. Then The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho and The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, recommended by Soul Path. Next I have The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I'm sorry for my pronunciation in advance, but yeah, The Little Prince. Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Persuasion by Jane Austen, and 1984 by George Orwell, all recommended by luciel. And then this one is kind of a funny coincidence that happened, but both luciel and mel.theravengirl recommended The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson, and more recommendations by mel.theravengirl were Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Lani Taylor, The Foxhole Court by Nora Sakavic? I don't know, I'm sorry, again, I'm so sorry for if I mispronounce something. Dreaming Sun, which is like a manga series by Ichigo Takano, The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater, I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and finally Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Sapia.
The way I wanted to approach this, obviously I did the research first, and there were a ton of books, and then I didn't know what I wanted to read and what I didn't want to read. So basically I set myself up some rules to narrow down my options. My goal for my reading year is to read at least 1 book per week, more or less. So that would mean I had to read about 4 books for February, and I did choose 4 books, as you can see here. The next rule I set for myself was that I was only gonna pick up standalones. I don't think that choosing series is really fair for the experiment, since I'm not gonna be reading the whole series, but I don't wanna commit to any series just for 1 video. The next rule I set up for myself was that if a book was mentioned by 2 or more people, I was gonna read it. And as you may remember, The Girl of Fire and Thorns was recommended by 2 people, but unfortunately that is a series, so it was out of question. Another rule that I set up for myself is that I was gonna gravitate towards books that were easily for me to get, so either books that I already have or books that my sister or some of my friends have. The next rule I set up for myself is basically I wanted to pick a book that I didn't know anything about. And finally, the last rule I set up for myself is that I was only gonna read books that I haven't already read. Basically a bunch of books on the list I already read, and although I would love to reread them, I thought, again, the point of this is to read new books that I haven't read to see if I am gonna like them or not. And so we come to reveal the 4 contenders for this reading vlog. So the first book on the TBR is Persuasion by Jane Austen. This is the book I know nothing about. The next book is Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. Next I have I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nilsson. And finally, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. These 2 books I was lent to by my dear friend that at this point I think everyone that watches, they already know. My friend Julia, she has her own YouTube channel. It's just Julia, please go check it out. But yeah, basically thanks to her, I can read. She's always lending me books that I don't have. Thank you a lot, Julia, like really a lot. I'm gonna be like updating, I think, a little bit about them while I read them, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So quick check-in, I'm about like 50 pages into the book for now. I'm liking it a lot so far. I think it's just like such a cute, wholesome story. I'm loving Anne so much, even though I feel like she would be the kind of person to stress me out so much in real life. I just like love reading her so much. I just love how enthusiastic she is about everything. But yeah, I already took a super long break to make and have dinner. And right now I'm gonna watch the original cartoon for the Winx Club with some friends, and let's see if I can get in some reading before going to bed. Hi, can we just talk about how funny it is that my camera is struggling for her life to keep me in focus instead of the door on the back? Hey, so quick check-in. I'm already like halfway through the book and I'm loving it so far. It's so wholesome and it's just so cute. Like, I can't help but smile every time. I like a lot that like each chapter is kind of like a short, like a short anecdote on its own. So it's really cute. I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving Anne. I feel like she's so relatable and she reminds me so much of when I was like 11 years old. Also, outfit check. I'm wearing my penguin jumper, my penguin trousers, my penguin socks, and even penguin slippers. I love penguins, in case you didn't notice by everything I'm wearing. Hey peeps, so it's about 12:30 a.m. right now. I don't know why I'm so sleepy if I usually sleep super late, but I just have like a fourth of the book left. I think I'm gonna finish that tomorrow because right now my eyes are closing themselves and I can't stay awake. I don't know why, I'm just so tired right now. But so far, like, I'm loving this book. Honestly, it's just so wholesome and it's so cute, and like, I can't think of a single bad thing about this book right now. It's just, I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, so one of my best friend's birthdays was yesterday, so I'm gonna bake some brownies for him. And I guess while I'm waiting for the brownies to come out of the oven, I'm gonna finish those 30 pages I have left, and then I'm gonna have class on the afternoon, and I guess that's gonna be all for Anne of Green Gables. Hey peeps, so I'm finally done with the book. Those last 30 pages made me cry a lot, but honestly, I love the book. It's just so wholesome and so sweet, and I just think it's a very good, like, coming of age story. Not everything is rainbows and sunshines, but overall, I think it's a really good book. Honestly, I loved it. It's so wholesome, it's so sweet, and it's easily a 5-star read for me. The brownies are out of the oven, and I'm just waiting for them to cool down a little bit. Yeah, that's it for now. So I came back from delivering the brownies. I'm in class right now, but I have a break. So I decided during the break time I'm gonna start reading Fangirl. And I also wanted to tell everybody about a little misunderstanding that happened. I was recommended the series Graceling by Cristy a while ago, and I've been wanting to read it. And I recently saw the covers, like the newish covers. This is the cover that Amazon had listed, and they gave me, like, they delivered the book with the old cover, which I don't hate. So I'm gonna be returning the book tomorrow, and hopefully I can get the new cover soon. I hate being like this, like, I hate being picky with some things. I honestly feel so bad about it, but to be honest, if I can get the pretty cover for the same price, I do prefer the pretty cover. And also I want to collect the series in those pretty covers. But yeah, I'm gonna start reading Fangirl now, and I guess I'll notify you about that. So far, I feel kind of indifferent about it. It's not anything special. There's nothing that, like, has me hooked or anything. A lot of complaints I've heard about this book is that Kath's behavior is very unrealistic. And so far, I don't think it's unrealistic. I just think she's extremely rude. The only other book I've read by Rainbow Rowell is Eleanor and Park, and I did not like that book at all because it's kind of racist. And I'm scared that she's gonna do the same thing in this book. In the first chapter, like page 8, all of a sudden she says, like, why is everybody blonde and why are they all white? As if she wasn't white, and as if it was weird to see white people in Nebraska. She just gives me that vibe, like that one person that takes Spanish class in middle school and then all of a sudden feels like the most culturally diverse person in all of Earth. And also, like, in that same passage where, like, they're talking about being in the Mexican neighbor, like, living there, she says, like, oh my god, do you think they have a taco truck here? And then her dad answers, I think I saw Chipotle. She groaned. Like, Mexicans also like Chipotle. I like Chipotle. Like, maybe it's not genuine Mexican food, but it's not bad. And I don't know, it just seems pretty pretentious. Like, I feel like she's kind of like, I live in a Mexican neighborhood, so I know what's, like, authentically Mexican. When, like, I mean, it's just food, it's a restaurant, like, whatever. I'm sure whatever taco truck you went to wasn't authentic either. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh, maybe I'm being rude. Okay, it literally has been like 2 minutes since the last check-in I did, but like, So far, this character named Abel has been mentioned like 6 times, and just now in page 36 we know that he's supposed to be Kath's boyfriend. What? Like, he's been mentioned 6 times prior to this, and I had no idea who he was. And now, like, he's supposed to be Kath's boyfriend, but like, Kath has been texting him every time he's been mentioned, and there hasn't been any mention of him replying. Girl, leave him. I'm thinking about making Fangirl a separate reading blog for itself, because there's just so much to talk about. Like, right now, Regan, Kath's roommate, is trying to be nice to her, trying to like show her where she can get food. And speaking from my own experience, I know that my experience is not everyone else's. I know it's gonna be different for everyone, but speaking from my experience, whenever someone offers something nice to me, I can't say no to them, and I just like tag along with them. So right now, Regan is trying to show Kath where the dining hall is, because she's been living at college for a month and she still hasn't gone out for any food. Why do I say food so weird today? She hasn't gone out for any food in that month, and Regan is actually worried about her, and Kath is getting mad at her because she's trying to get her to eat. I don't know about like anyone else, but at least in my case, I would be so thankful that someone I'm somewhat familiar with would go to a place where I would hate to be with me. Like, having someone at least somewhat familiar go with you to a place that makes you scared is such a big help. Like, what? I honestly don't understand. Again, like 2 pages later, but they finally went to the dining hall and they've been talking, like, you know, like roommate banter, like they don't really love each other, but like they don't hate each other either. And Regan tells her like she doesn't have any friends and she's weird, whatever. So Regan accuses her of being like a little bit too obsessed with like a fantasy book series, and then Kath says that she's not obsessed, she's just a really active member of the fandom. And then Regan says, what the fuck is a fandom? Like, it's 2011, okay? It's like, everyone knows what a fandom is. It's not like just a quirky thing that only nerds know. Like, everyone knows what a fandom is. And then Kath has the audacity to reply, you wouldn't understand. What? I decided I'm gonna read a few pages before class. So right now, Regan and Kath are going to the dining hall and basically making fun of people there. And Kath, as an introvert with social anxiety, should be the first one to say no, because she's doing exactly what she's afraid of other people doing when she's like outside her room. And hi, so I haven't updated in a long while, but yesterday I read a lot. I'm already like halfway through the book, and my opinions are still kind of the same. The only person I'm liking in this book is Levi. I don't want to be mean, but if I had a quarter for every time Kath cries in this book, I think I could afford like a new book by now. And I'm halfway through. But yeah, so far my thoughts haven't changed. Like, it's okay. I'm not loving it. I'm not hating it. Like, I don't hate it, but it's kind of annoying, you know? I've gotten to the point where I enjoy reading her fanfiction more than reading her story at this point. Also, Rainbow Rowell's writing kind of makes me uncomfortable for some reason. I don't know. I think it's just sometimes she says things in a weird way that makes me think like, okay, there was a better way of saying that. I don't know. Hi. So I have about like 100 pages left on the book, and something like really intense, I say quotation marks because like I really don't care, but this is supposed to be like a really intense and heartfelt and like worrying moment. But anyways, something happened that Kath had to, like, she bumped into her mom, and like she's not on good terms with her mom because she left them when they were kids, and she started texting Levi like something, and then she looked up at her mom and she saw her mom was also texting, like using her phone, and then she goes ahead and says Lara was texting someone, probably her husband, and for some reason it pissed Kath off that she was texting someone right now, that she was flaunting her new life. First of all, she doesn't even know who she is texting. Second of all, why would that be flaunting your new life? Third of all, she also had her phone out like 2 seconds ago texting Levi. She's like, she's like such a big hypocrite. I hate her so much. Like, I only have 100 pages left and I still can't find any likable characteristics in Kath. So apologies for the previous clip. I had like a page left of the chapter when I updated and I finished it, and turns out her mom did like a really bad thing at the end of the chapter. Like, her mother tells her that she's gonna leave, and then Kath gets mad at her because she's leaving, but like clearly Kath doesn't want her there, and her mom is like doing that for Kath to feel more comfortable, which I still think she shouldn't have left. Like, that's wrong in itself. But like, then Kath starts blaming her for what happened to Ren, and then like she starts making everything about herself, which, like, what the hell, your sister is going through something, don't make it about yourself. And then like her mom tells her that she's tired, that like she's tried to reconnect with Kath, but Kath isn't like putting anything of her part, and then Kath just says like, you're my mom, you're supposed to try harder. Like, how is she gonna try harder when everything she's done for you so far you've rejected? Like, I'm not on her mom's side, her mom is horrible, she's the worst, but like, Kath, come on. Hey peeps, it's 1 a.m. and I have like 30 pages left. I'm not gonna finish it right now, like, even though I know I could. I just do not have the strength to keep reading this right now. I just read the most awkward romance scene I have ever read in my whole life, and I've read some cringy books. Like, I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. Like, I thought about DNFing this book, but honestly, like, at this point I have 30 pages left. It's just better to push through it, whatever. It's just... Okay, so I have 20 pages left of the book, and Rainbow Rowell just decided to introduce 2 whole new conflicts. One, Kath and one of his classmates got together in the library for like co-writing a story, and they start co-writing it, but like later on, because like his classmate gets a little bit carried away, like every time he just turns up to the library with like 6 full pages of the story, and basically Kath just edits it, and turns out he ends up turning in that story they were writing together, which they weren't writing together. Kath was just editing the story, but he turns in that story for like his final of the fiction writing class, and Kath is so hurt. Like, how could he do this to her? He used her. But Nick, like his classmate, offers to help her edit her final story as well, but Kath just decides not to write
her final assignment at all, and it's so frustrating. Now Nick comes back to her, and turns out the story's gonna get published in like the school magazine, and it's like a huge opportunity. The teacher knows that Kath helped Nick edit the story, so the teacher tells Nick that he can only publish it if he gives Kath credit. So Nick goes tell Kath like, hey, the story's gonna get published and I would love for it to get published and I would like to give you credit. Like, well, I would like to give you credit, but like the teacher's telling me that if I want to publish it, I have to give you credit, and I'm like okay with that. I still want to publish it, you know? And Kath basically tells him like, no, it's not my story anymore, you were right all along, it's yours, like I don't want the credit. And he's like, no, like please, if I don't give you credit I can't publish it, and this is a huge opportunity. And Kath is just basically like, no, it's not my story anymore, I don't want credit. She even says in a paragraph like all of the lines she edited for Nick, she can't use them anymore, because if she did, like people would know that people would think she stole them from Nick. But like if the story gets published with your name as co-author, then you have the right to those lines again. All of the things she felt she was used and all of that, like that gets fixed with the co-author like credit. And why is she saying no? I really don't get it. The second issue we've been introduced to is like Levi is asking why Kath doesn't like getting Ren, her sister, and Levi together a lot. Like Levi is this like super friendly, super social guy, and like he wants to get to know her sister better. And it turns out it's just because Kath feels like if he gets to know Ren, he's gonna prefer Ren over her. Like Levi deserves so much better, but like he's already with you. He already tells you like he likes you and he like is falling in love with you, and that he likes the quirky things you do and stuff like that. And now turns out that you're insecure that your sister's gonna steal him away from you, even though your sister has a boyfriend too. I finally finished it. I'm finally free from that book. I don't have to read it anymore. I'm so glad I'm finally done with it. Like, if I could give this book a 0 stars, honestly I would. I was considering at first giving the book 2 stars, but honestly as the book went on I just got more and more frustrated, because I remember before reading Eleanor Park, I wanted to read all of her books because she was very popular and all of the people loved her writing and stuff like that, you know. But I read Eleanor Park and I like, how did she get away with that? And now reading Fangirl, like I don't want to read, like I'm sorry, I gave her a second chance, she didn't come through. I don't want to read anything by Rainbow Rowell anymore, I'm sorry. But anyways, I'm moving forward to Persuasion by Jane Austen now, and hopefully that's a good book that can cleanse my brain from the disaster that was Fangirl. So quick update, I guess. I'm about like a third into the book right now, and I know I haven't updated a lot, but it's mainly because like I don't have a lot to say. I am liking the book so far. Like I think the story is very interesting, I think it's very dramatic, and I think it's very much my style of story. I limit myself when it comes to books like this because I think I'm not getting it even if I am getting it, and it just makes me very nervous. Like I don't know, but so far like what I've gotten from the story I do like. Hey, so I didn't have time to update in the afternoon, but the few chapters I read I think are getting me into the rhythm of reading the book more. I definitely I'm enjoying it a lot more. I'm like a little bit more than halfway through. if I keep reading at this pace, I'm gonna finish by tomorrow, and tomorrow's Wednesday, so I would finish ahead of schedule. I don't know if I would start I'll Give You the Sun, the only book I have left. I don't know if I would start it like right after I finish this, or if I would wait until the weekend. I guess it's better to like be ahead of schedule, but I guess I'm gonna like give myself more free time for things that are not reading. Hey peeps, so it's Wednesday. I woke up pretty late today, like later than I usually wake up, and then I spent like the whole morning playing Animal Crossing. I think I'm probably gonna like go read outside because there's really nice weather today. But yeah, I'm probably gonna read like maybe 2 chapters before lunchtime. Okay, so I'm done reading for right now. I finished chapter 21, and wow, some people were exposed. There was a lot of drama. There was even evidence of those supposed accusations, and I'm not saying I like gossip, but... And so I finished Persuasion now. Honestly, it's a really cute book. The more I read, the more I liked it, the more I understood. I think the more I read, the more I got used to the writing, and the more information I was able to take in, and like those little things that I was saying I didn't get before, like the humor or the sarcasm and stuff. Honestly, like the ending was pretty solid. Like I really liked it. I don't think it reached the point for 4 stars, but it's definitely more than 3 stars. So in Goodreads it's gonna appear as a 3 stars, but it's actually a 3.5 stars. Someone should tell Goodreads to like allow half-star ratings. Like, I was gonna get into reading I'll Give You the Sun right away, but Joel from Fictional Fates just uploaded a new video, so I think I'm gonna watch that first to like take a little break, and then I'm gonna get started on the book.
I couldn't have a romance reading vlog without the sapphics.
この間さ、変なビデオ見ちゃって。どこで？ヨーコたちと。
Hello peeps, so it's Friday. I look tired as heck. I don't know why. I slept not that late, and even then I woke up later than usual. I was able to go through like about 50 pages yesterday. It's not bad, but it's really weird. The thing is, like, it's not really divided into chapters. It's more like parts, because there's 2 narrators. Like in the book there's twins, so the book goes over both of the twins' perspectives. And the thing is, the next chapter or part is 100 pages, and I hate stopping between chapters. I like taking like a little bit time off between chapters, and that makes me like read through faster. So with this 100-page chapter, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll see how I'll get through it, I guess. Hey peeps, so I read like about 50 pages throughout the morning. I'm like in page 109. I haven't finished the chapter because, like I said, it was 100 pages long, but it does have like chapter breaks, like where it starts talking about like other day, even though it's from the same perspective of that twin. But so far I'm liking it a lot. Like, honestly, I think I've been getting into the rhythm of the book a lot more, and I am liking it. I think Jandy Nelson is very good at like making you sympathize with the narrator. So like, even though there's some stuff obviously that the twins disagree on, when you're reading it from the perspective of Noah, one of the twins, you're kind of on his side, but then when you read it from the perspective of Jude, the other twin, you're kind of on her side as well. I'm liking it so far that it feels real. It's very well established, but I'm gonna try to finish the rest of the chapter after my class. Hey peeps, so I finished the 100-page chapter. The things that happened were so sad, and honestly I'm kind of heartbroken, but like I still have more than half of the book to go, so we'll see what happens. Hello, good morning, actually good afternoon, it's 3 p.m. I had a really rough night and I woke up super late today, like at 12:30 p.m. and honestly I just don't feel like reading right now, so I don't even know if I'm gonna read today, but it's okay. I'm ahead schedule, so it's okay if I take a day off. Taking care of yourself is more important than following schedules, guys. Hey peeps, long time no see. It's Sunday night. I'm sorry for not updating all throughout Saturday and Sunday. I didn't record myself reading either, which I regret, because what I just read got a lot of reactions out of me, but wow. I'm speechless. Like, what I just read was a roller coaster of emotions, going from like happy to sad to happy to angry to worried to happy again to sad to angry again. Oh my god, like I'm in Spain but the S is silent, you know? I am liking the book a lot. It's like one of those stories that just talks about life and how unfair life is, but it also talks about the beautiful things about life. I'm loving the book so far. Like, I don't know if it's a 5 stars yet, but it's definitely a 4 stars, like for sure. It's so intense. I don't know, this book is like making me go crazy in a good way, I guess. It's just, this book is breaking me. Like, this is making me crazy because like it's actually making me want to like keep reading like constantly, and it's like coming out with like new information, like not exactly plot twists but revelations that just have me shook. Some of them I kind of saw them coming and I still can't believe it, and I don't know, it's just, this book is keeping me at the edge of my seat, and I'm gonna stop updating you because I just need to keep reading. After I'm done with this book, I'm gonna read Fruits Basket, because like, even though Fruits Basket also makes me cry every time, it's probably gonna heal some of the wounds this freaking book is like inflicting on me. So that's all for now. I'm broken, I'm destroyed. So I finished and I'm happy. I'm happy with the book. I really liked it. I liked the way that like everything had a reason. Like everything happened and it was explained and it had a reason, and I loved how everything got connected between like the two timelines. Well, not timelines, but like the two perspectives in different times. And I really loved like the art angst aspect of it, and I really liked the characters. I think they were really well constructed. I was debating on whether I was gonna give it a 4 stars or a 5 stars, But then I thought, like, if it was really a 5 stars for me, like if I really felt like it was a 5 stars, I wouldn't even question it. I would just give it the 5 stars. So I decided to give it a 4.5 stars. But yeah, with that, I'm done with the reading, and I guess I'm just gonna do like a quick wrap up for the outro.
And yeah, that was it for the reading vlog. I'm gonna give a quick overview of like my thoughts on the books and the stars I gave them and stuff. And also I wanted to like grade the books in a more like objective system. So I went over to the 16 personalities page, like the official page for the personalities, and like I went through a list of what are supposed to be some INFP characteristics, and then I judged all the books based on those characteristics. I just like put a check mark next to it whether if they have it or not, and I guess the more characteristics it has, the more recommended it would be for an INFP, I guess, or like the more relatable.
Hey peeps, editing me. I just wanted to clarify, I know this way of rating the books is still not perfect. I just wanted to like more objectively look at why certain books would be recommended for INFPs. But of course there's still like the question of whether you as an INFP would like to read about people similar to you or things that relate to your personality. So just keep that in mind. I know that it's not perfect. I just wanted to, for the sake of the video, I just wanted to develop a more objective way of rating the books.
Okay, so remembering the first book I read for this vlog, it was Anne of Green Gables, and if you remember, I gave this a 5 stars. I honestly loved this book. I thought it was so wholesome. It was full of like really good life lessons, and it feels real. I don't know, I like having something to relate to characters in books, and I think Anne is very relatable. I am gonna say, in the 16 personalities page, and I think most people say that Anne is an INFP, but I would think she's more of an ENFP, because she talks a lot and she's not like that introvert, that she's like very friendly with everyone and she's not shy at all. But anyways, from the characteristics that I got, this book checked 9 out of the 11 characteristics for INFPs. So I would say this is a pretty solid recommendation. Now, Fangirl. I think you guys know exactly how I feel about this book by now. If you don't remember, I give it 1 star, and only because I can't give 0 stars on Goodreads. So I did not like this book at all. I thought I didn't like the characters. The only character I liked was Levi, and even him, like, he got me frustrated sometimes too. I thought Kath, the main character, was a steady character. Like, she doesn't change at all throughout the book. You start the book with her being a shut-in fangirl that writes fan fiction about Simon Snow, and you end the book with her being a shut-in fangirl that writes fan fiction about Simon Snow. Like, nothing changes for her. Everyone else changes around her, but she doesn't change at all, and I don't think that Kath learns anything in the book. And I'm just not about that life. And also, like, just the whole way through the book, I was just thinking, like, Rainbow Rowell, what was the reason? Like, you did this for what? I just don't think it's a good representation of fangirls overall. And I also, like, it didn't sit right with me how there were a lot of, like, side plots going on that were so intense and more important than the main plot. But, like, on the side you have her sister, like, dealing with alcoholism, but that's just a side plot and it's brushed over really quickly. I don't know, like, if you like the book, it's totally fine. You have your right to like it, but it's just not for me. I'm sorry. Out of all of the INFP characteristics, this book checks 5 out of 11 of them. I guess it sits right about in the half of characteristics. I wouldn't recommend the book purely because I didn't like it, That's why I developed the system of like looking for INFP characteristics, so it was a more objective system. So yeah, 5 out of 11 characteristics, you can make your own judgment based on that. And the next book was Persuasion by Jane Austen. I gave this book 3.5 stars. I thought it was a really good story. I enjoyed it a lot. I loved the romance aspect of it, but at the same time, like I don't think it's anything special. Out of the characteristics for INFPs, this book has 10 out of the 11 characteristics, so that's a very high number. And like the only one that I think it didn't get, you could easily argue for it. I just didn't see it that present as the other books where I did check that category. So even like this book could even be an 11 out of 11. Like, so this is a very good recommendations for INFPs. And last but definitely not least is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. I gave this book a 4.5 stars. I didn't give it a 5-star rating just because I don't think it's like my favorite book ever. I only give 5 stars to what I think are gonna be my favorite books of all time. And I definitely don't think that this book was perfect, but I really did enjoy it. I love stories that like make you question morality and whether like who's the villain and who's the hero in the story. I just really liked it. I liked that it's a story just about life and things that happen in life and how sometimes we make dumb decisions and how sometimes like we have to live with those regrets and stuff like that. I think it's a very profound and heartfelt story. I think this book was literally everything that Fangirl tried to be but couldn't. Also, like the artsy stuff that it's all over this book is a big plus for me. Since I am an animation major, I really like that. The only complaint I have with the artsy stuff is how much they mention Picasso. Like, as if it was the only artist ever to exist, where I think there's other artists that have contributed to the art world like way more and are better overall. Like to me, like his abstract style is just ugly. I don't I don't really like it. And also he was a very misogynistic person, so I don't really like Picasso at all. But like of course he does have some beautiful art out there, but I don't know, I think there's just much better examples that could have been used instead of him. Out of the INFP characteristics, this book also checks out 10 out of the 11 characteristics, and I think that's a pretty solid recommendation based on that. I just think it's like, even if you're not an INFP, I would recommend this book just because I feel like it's one of those stories that I think you should read at least once in your life.
Hi. Also, I just realized that like both of the classics I read have a protagonist named Anne, and both of the contemporaries I read have twins. So, I don't know. I just thought that was like a funny coincidence.
And yeah, that was pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoy it. Please do consider subscribing to the channel so you can stick around to see more content like this, and be sure to check out my previous videos. If you liked the video, please do let me know. I'm thinking about doing some similar experiments. Thank you so much for sticking around to watching the video, and take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.